Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitanscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurattu Se Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Now you can recite after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay, everybody together. Okay, keep it unmute. Everybody together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jayam Udiraye
Tato Jayam
Nastaprayesu Abhadresu
Nashtaprayeshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Very good. You did a good job. So now I will share the screen with you and I will see that Bhagwatam verse. Today will begin from text 6. I will have Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, Canto 1, Chapter 9. The title is Passing Away of Bhismadev in Presence of Lord Krishna. So everybody know who Bhisma Dev is, right? Anybody who doesn't know who Bhisma Dev is?
Yes.
Everybody know who Bhisma Dev is. Okay.
He's the grandfather of the Pandavas.
Grandfather of the Pandavas. Very good. Okay. So we are in that chapter and we did so far 5 verses. Today we'll begin from text 6 and 7. Okay. So in this text especially, as we learned earlier slokas, that all the Pandavas, Krishna, everybody came at the place where Bhisma Dev was on the arrow bed. Okay. So also there are some Rusis and Munis and Maharshis and they all came. So those names are here. So please repeat after me. Parvato Narado Domya.
Parvato Narado Dhamya.
Parvato Narado Domya.
Parvato Narado Dhamya.
Bhagavan Badarayana.
Bhagavan Badarayana.
Brihadasvo Bharadvaja.
Rahatasvo Bharadvajaha. Bharadvaja.
Sasisyo Renukasutaha.
Dasisyo Renukasutaha.
Next, Vasistha Indra Pramadas.
Vashishta Indra Pramada.
Trito Grutsmado Asitaha.
Trito Grutsmada.
Kakshivan Gautamo Atrischa.
Shivan Gautama Atrischa.
Kaushiko Atha Sudarshanaha.
Kausiko Atha Sudarshanaha.
Okay, one more time, then I will let you recite. Okay. Parvato Narado Dhamyo.
Parvato Narado Dhamyo.
Bhagavan Badarayanaha.
Bhagavan Badarayanaha.
Bruhadasvo Bharadvajaha.
Bhatasvo Bharadvajaha.
Sasisyo Renukasutaha.
Sasisyo Renukasutaha.
Vasistha Indra Pramadas.
Vashishta Indra Pramada.
Grutasmado Asitaha.
Trito Grutasmado Asitaha.
Kakshivan Gautamo Atrischa.
Kakshivan Gautama Atrischa.
Kaushiko Atha Sudarshanaha.
Kausikotha Sudarshanaha.
Yeah. See this this is the like a comma. It should be pronounced as A. So Asitaha, Atri, and Atha like that. Okay? Okay, so who gonna recite first? Jyotsna, can you? Jyotsna. Yeah, Jyotsna and then Mihika, and then I will let others go. Okay? Okay, Jyotsna, go ahead.
Okay. Parvato Narado Tamyo Bhagavan Badarayanaha Brahadashvo Bharadvajaha Sasiyo Renuka Sutaha. Sasishyo Renuka Sutaha.
Very good. Next.
Vashishta Indra Pramadas Trito Grit Samadositaha Asitaha. Kakshivan Gautamo Atrischa Kausikota Sudarshanaha.
Very good. Mihika.
पर्वतो नारदो दौम्यो भगवान् बादरायणः बृहदश्वो भरद्वाज शशिष्यो रेणुकासुतः वसिष्ठ इन्द्रप्रमदस्त्रितो गृत्समदो अस्थितः कक्षिवान् गौतमो अत्रिश्च कौशिको अथ सुदर्शनः.
Very good, very good. Rusab, can you do it?
Okay, Prabhu. Parvata Narada Dhaumya Bhagavan Badarayana Pradashva Bhara Advija Shashi Shio Renukasutaha Vash Vash Vasistha Indra Pramadas Tritogratasmado Asita Kakshivan Gautamo Atrischa Kaushiko Athasudarshana.
Very good. Okay, Govinda, you want to do it?
Yes. Parvata Narada Dorna Bhagavan Bhadrayana
Badarayana.
Bridos. What is this, Prabhuji? What is this, Prabhuji?
Sasishyo Renukasuta.
Oh, Asasishu Renukasutaha.
Okay.
Vasishta Indra
Pramadas.
Pradana Trito
Grutsmado.
Asitaha
Okay, very good.
Kaksivan Gautam Asricha Kiskako Ta Sudarshanaha.
Okay, very good. Okay, who would like to do next? Nihal, can you do it?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Parvato Narado Domya Bhagam Badrana Brahadavaso Bharadvajaha Sasi Renuka Sutaha.
Okay.
Do I read the second one too?
Which one?
The second one?
Here. Okay. Vasistha Indra Pramadas.
Vashishta Indra Prabhas
Vito Grutsmado Asitaha.
Trito Samado Sutaha
Kakshivan Gautamo Atrischa.
Kaksivan Gautamo Trist
Kaushiko Atha Sudarshanaha.
Kausiko Tha Sudar.
Okay, very good. Manhar, can you read it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Parvato Narado Dhamya Bhagwan Badarayana Pradasvo Bharadvajaha Sheshyo Renukasuta Vashist Indra Pramadas Indra Pramadas Trito Kritsamado Asita Kakishwan Gautamo Atris Cha Kokshiko Atha Tadarshana.
Very good. Omkar.
Parvato Narado Dhumyo Bhagavan Bhadarayana Brihadasvo
Bharadvajaha.
Sasishyo Renuka Sutaha
Very good.
Vashishta Indra Pramadas Trito Grutsamados Asitaha Kakshivan Gautamo Atrischa Kaushiko Atha Sudarshana.
Very good. Okay, Advya, you want to do it? Your first time. So I don't know whether you can do it. Can you do it?
I can do it. I do them. Yeah.
Okay, definitely. Try it.
Sarvato narado dhumyo bhagwan badarayanaha brahadashvo bharadvajaha sashirshyo runukasutaha vasarshthayanta pramasdas tritogrit samados asitaha kakshivan gumato atrishta.
Gautamo.
Okay. Kakshivan gaumato atrishta kukshiko atha sudarshanaha.
Very good. Nice try. Okay. So anybody left? I think I covered everyone, right? Oh, Satvik.
Yeah,
Satvik, you want to recite Satvik?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Parvato nardo daumyo Bhagavan
Badarayanaha. Okay.
Badarayanaha
Mhm.
Brahadasvo Bharadvajaha Sashi Syorenuka Sutaha
Okay.
Vashishta Indra Pramadas Trito
Grutsmado. Grutsmado.
Grismato
Asitaha.
Asitaha Kaksavan
Gautamo.
Gautamo Atrishcha Kaushiko Ata Sudarshanaha.
Very good. Very good. Anybody left? Did I leave anyone? No. Okay. So now we're going to understand who are these. Some are very easy. This is Parvato is Parvat Muni, Narad Muni, Dhaumya, Rusi. Dhaumya is the priest for Pandavas, you know. Then Bhagwan Badaranaha is referred to Vyasdev. Then Brihadasva is another. Bharadvaj is also Rusi. Sasishyo means with disciple they came. And Renuka Sutaha means son of Renuka, and that is Parsuram. Okay, Jamanagni and Renuka, they have a son called Parsuram. That is the Lord's incarnation. And Sasishyo means they all came with the Sasishyo applies to everyone. So they came with their disciple. Okay. In the next sloka, Vasistha, you have heard that name. Indra Pramadas.
Vasistha is in Ramayana.
Huh?
Ramdev Guru is Vasistha.
He's saying Vashishta is in Ramayana.
Govinda, I don't know what you're saying. Can you?
I'm saying Vasistha is Ram and Lakshman's Guru.
Yeah. Vasistha is during Ram Guru. Yeah, you're right. Correct. And then Indra Pramadas is another Rusi. Trito is Gautam Muni's son. And Gripmar is another Rusi. Asitaha, Devalo, they are given Bhagavad Gita, their Rusis come there. Then Kakshivan, Gautam, Atri is also Atri and Suya. Kaushik is also Rusi, and Sudarsana. So we will read word to word so you will know who they are, even though I told you about them. So let's go through this synonym, which will make you understand the name of all of them. Okay. So one by one, you're going to read. Okay. Let's say who's going to. Okay, Mihika, go ahead and read these synonyms. And everybody, please listen carefully.
Okay, Prabhuji. Parvataha, Parvatmuni, Naradaha, Naradmuni, Dhaumyaha, Dhaumya, Bhagavan, incarnation of Godhead, Badarayanaha, Vyasadeva, Brahadvashaha, Brahadvasha, Bharadvaja, Bharadvaja Muni, Shishyaha, along with disciples, Renuka Sutaha, Parashuram, Vashishtaha, Vashishta Muni, Indra Pramadaha, Indra Pramada, Tritaha, Trita, Grutsamadaha, Grutsamada, Asitaha, Asita Muni, Kakshivan, Kakshivan, Gautamaha, Gautama, Atrihi, Atri, Cha, and Kaushika.
Hello.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Kaushikaha, Kaushika, Atha, as well as Sudarshanaha, Sudarshana.
Very good. So now you know all these Rishi's name. Okay. So Josna, I want you to read translation.
All right. All the sages like Parvata Muni, Narada, Daumya, Vyasa, the incarnation of God, Brahadasva, Mahar
No, Bharadwaj.
Bharadwaja and Parshurama and disciples, Vashishta in Indrapramada, Trita, Grita Samada, Asita, Kakshivan, Gautama, Atri, Kausika, and Sudarshana were present.
Very good. So Trita is also there are three brothers. So Ekat, Dvet, and Trit. So these are the names of this, a little weird, but that's how the name is. Okay. So now we will read about each Rusi and then I'll ask you a question also. So you have to attentively hear everyone. I mean, one person will be reading one paragraph, another person will be reading another paragraph, but all of you hear attentively so that if I ask you questions later on, you can all answer it, okay? So let's see, who can read the first paragraph? Let's see, Rusab, you want to read the first paragraph?
Okay, Prabhu. Um, Bhagwata Muni is considered to be one of the oldest sages. He is almost always a consistent companion of Narada Muni. They are also spacemen competent to travel in the air without the help of any material vehicle. Bhagwata Muni is also a Devarsi, or a great sage amongst the demigods, like Narada. He was present along with Narada at the sacrificial ceremony of Maharaj Janamejaya, son of Maharaj Parikshit. In the sacrifice, all the snakes of the world were to be killed. Parvata Muni and Narada Muni are called Gandharvas, also because they can travel in the air singing the glories of the Lord. Since they can travel in the air, they observe Draupadi's Swayamvara ceremony, selecting of her own husband from the air. Like Narada Muni, Parvata Muni also used to visit the royal assembly in the heaven of King Indra. As a Gandharva, sometimes he visited the royal assembly of Kuvera, one of the important demigods. Both Narada and Parvata were once in trouble with the daughter of Maharaj Srinajaya.
Srunjaya.
Maharaj Srinjaya got the benediction of a son by Parvata Muni.
Very good. So how many of you know Narad Muni? Raise your hand. How many of you know the Narad Muni? Everybody should have heard the name of Narad Muni. Now, Parvat Muni here, about Parvat Muni, this is all written about Parvat Muni. So, Parvat Muni is a companion of Narad Muni. So, that's why Narad Muni called Devarshi. So, Parvat Muni is also sometimes called Devarshi. They both also went to Chitraketu Maharaj. That is the story, because Chitraketu has 1 million wives, but he do not have a son or daughter. So he was lamenting that he does not have a son. So Narad Muni and Parvat Muni went there. They explained that maybe in your destiny you may not have son, but he was lamenting. So that's why they give benediction. So the Chitraketu Maharaj has a son, but at the same time, what happened? The other wives of the Chitraketu, they give poison to that child and died. So then everybody lamented. So, it is also said that uh, they also told Chitraketu, Narad Muni and Parvat, that you give the name Harsha Shoka. Harsha means happiness, Soka means lamentation. So they have a Harsha means, happiness in the beginning. But then when he died, they have a lamentation. So that is there's a long story, but this kind of short story is good enough for you. So this whole paragraph describe about the Parvat Muni. Okay. The next paragraph will describe about Narad Muni. And let's say, Manhar, can you read that?
Okay. Narad Muni is invariably associated with the narrations of the Puranas. He is described in the Bhagwatam. In his previous life, he was the son of a maid servant. By good association with pure devotees, he became
Enlighten,
devotional
enlighten.
enlightened in devotional service, and in the next life he became a perfect man, comparable with himself only. In the Mahabharata, his name is mentioned in many places. He is the principal Dev Rishi, or the chief sage among the demigods. He is the son and disciple of Brahmaji, and from him the disciplic succession in the line of Brahma has been spread. He initiated Prahlad, Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, and many celebrated devotees of the Lord. He initiated even Vyasdev, daughter of the Vedic literatures, and from Vyasdev, Madhvacharya was initiated, and and the Madhva Sampradaya, in which the Gaudiya Sampradaya is also included, has spread all over the universe. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belonged to this Madhva Sampradaya. Therefore, Brahmaji, Narad, Vyas, down to Madhav, Chaitanya, and the Goswamis all belong to the same line of of disciplic succession. Narad Ji has instructed many kings from time immemorial. In the Bhagavatam, we can see that he instructed Prahlad Maharaj, who was mother, and he instructed Vyasa, father of Krishna, as well as Yudhishthira Maharaj.
Very good. Okay. So, Manhar, about Narad Muni, can you say one sentence about Narad Muni from the paragraph that you have read?
He was the son of a maid servant, and he was the chief among the demigods.
Very good. Who was his father?
His father was Brahmaji.
Brahmaji. Very good. Okay. All right. So now, next paragraph, Daumya. Can Mihika read it?
Can Govind be the next Rishi?
Sure, Prabhuji. Domya, a great sage who practiced severe penances at Utkoka Tirtha and was appointed royal priest of the Pandava kings. He acted as the priest in many religious functions of the Pandavas samskara, and also each of the Pandavas was attended by him at the betrothal of Draupadi. He was present even during the exile of the Pandavas and used to advise them in circumstances when they were perplexed. He instructed them how to live incognito for 1 year, and his instructions were strictly followed by the Pandavas during that time. His name is mentioned also when the general funeral ceremony was performed after the battle of Kurukshetra in the Anusasana Parva of Mahabharata 127.15 to 16. He gave very elaborate religious instructions to Maharaj Yudhishthira. he was actually the right type of priest of a whole householder, for he could guide the Pandavas on the right path of religion. A priest is meant for guiding the householder progressively in the right path of ashrama dharma, or occupational duty of a particular caste. This is practically no difference between the family priest and the spiritual master. The sages, saints, and brahmanas were especially meant for such functions.
Very good. So, Mika, can you tell me few lines about Daumya Muni? What do you know from this paragraph?
So Domya Muni was a very great sage who practiced penances at Kochaka Tirtha, and he was also appointed to be the royal priest of the Pandavas. And then they state that, like, where he's been present, like in the beach, like when Draupadi was insulted in the hall.
Yeah.
That time he was also present there, and also during the exile of the Pandavas, he advised them in the certain circumstances when they were confused and didn't know what to do, and he also instructed them how to live 1 year of incognito
Incognito. Mhm.
for 1 year, and the Pandavas strictly followed his directions, and his name is also mentioned in the Battle of Kurukshetra, like the funeral after the Battle of Kurukshetra, and also in the Anusasana Parva of Mahabharata.
Mhm.
He gives like Maharaj Yudhishthira many important
Religious instruction.
religious instructions regarding priests.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. So next paragraph, Jyotsna, can you read the next one?
Okay. Um, Badarayana, also Vyasdeva, he is known as Krishna Dvaipayana, Satyavati Sutta, uh, Parasarya, Parasaratmaja, Badarayana, Vedavyasa, etc. He was the son of Mahamuni Parasara in the womb of Satyavati prior to her betrothal with Maharaja Santanu, the
Santan. Santan.
Santanu, Santanu, the father of the great general grandfather Bhishmadeva. He is a powerful incarnation of Narayana, and he broadcast the Vedic wisdom to the world. As such, Vyasdeva is offered respects from one chant, the Vedic literature especially, the Puranas. Sukadev Goswami was his son, and rishis like Vaishampayana were his disciples for different branches of the Vedas. He is the author of the great epic Mahabharata and the great transcendental literature Bhagwatam, the Brahma Sutras, the Vedanta Sutras, or Badrayana Sutras were compiled by him. Amongst sages, he is the most respected author by dint of severe penances. When he wanted to record the great epic Mahabharata for the welfare of all people in the age of Kali, he was feeling the necessity of a powerful writer who could take up his dictation by the order of Brahmaji. Sri Ganeshaji took up the charge of noting down the dictation on the condition that Vyasdeva would not stop dictation for a moment. The Mahabharata was thus compiled by the joint endeavor of Vyasa and Ganesha.
Very good. So the Srimad Bhagavatam and even Mahabharata also, that is mentioned here, Mahabharata, but even Srimad Bhagavatam also compiled by Vyasdev and Ganesh. Okay. So, Josna, one question for you, and then I'll ask other people also. Vyasdev, people may have heard about him. Who is the father and mother of Vyasdev? Jyotsna.
Um, I think it was Parasar Muni and Satyavati.
Yes. And Satyavati Suta, that's why Suta means son of Satyavati, Satyavati Suta. So he is also known by so many other names. Vyasdev, everybody is familiar, but he also called Badarayan because his cottage is covered with Badarayan trees, berry trees, and he is also called Dvaipayana Vyas. There are some other names here. Parasarya means he's son of Parasa. Para Saratmaja. Atmaja means son. So his son of, there is another name is Parasmataja. And Badarayan is already given here also, Vedvyas. So these are the different names of Vedvyas. Just one person, but many names of it. Okay. So can somebody tell me, you can raise your hand, who is the son of Vyasdev?
Govinda,
Yes, Govinda.
Sukadev Goswami.
Sukadev Goswami. Very good. All right. And let's see. Who helped Vyasdev to compile Mahabharata?
Prabhuji, can I answer that?
Yeah.
Narad Muni.
No, somebody else who was helping him to write.
Jyotsna answer.
Huh?
Can Jyotsna do it?
Can Govinda say?
Can Jyotsna say it?
Yes, just now go ahead.
It was Sri Ganesha ji.
Ganesha ji. Okay, very good. So yeah, Vyasdev got instruction from Narad Muni, but to help write, he used Ganesh. Okay. All right. Okay. Who would like to read the next paragraph?
Can Govinda?
Okay, Govinda, go ahead.
By the orders of his mother Satyavati, who was later married to Maharaja Santanu, and by the request of Bhishma Dev, the eldest son of Maharaj Santanu by the first wife, the Ganges is begot three brilliant sons. Those names are Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura. The Mahabharata was complete by Vyasadeva. After the battlefield of Kurukshetra and after the death of all the heroes of Mahabharata, it was first spoken in the royal assembly of Maharaj Janamejaha, the son of Maharaj Parikshit.
Very good. So, Satyavati is mother of who?
The mother of Vyasadeva and the wife of Santanu.
Santanu. Okay, very good. What is the Santanu has another wife before Satyavati? What is
Ganges.
Ganges? Okay, okay. And then Vyasdev has three sons.
What is the names?
Yeah,
Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura.
very nice. Thank you. Very nice.
In one hand,
And then who is the son of Janmejay?
Son of Parikshit.
The father of Janmejay is Parikshit Maharaj. Yeah.
Yeah.
His son of Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, all right. Who would like to do the next paragraph?
in one hand,
Omkar read it.
Okay, Omkar, go ahead.
Brihadasva, an ancient sage who used to meet Maharaja Yudhishthira now and then. First of all, he met Maharaja Yudhishthira at Kamyavana. Kamyavana. This sage narrated the history of Maharaja Nala, There is another Brihadasva who is the son of Ikshvaku
Ikshvaku dynasty.
dynasty. Mahabharata Vanaparva 29.4-5.
Very good. Okay, Omkar. So can you tell me about what you read? Just one sentence of Brihadasva. Brihadasva, about Brihadasva.
So he used to meet Maharaj Yudhishthira now and then,
Mhm.
and he met Maharaj Yudhishthira at Kamyavana.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, who will read the next paragraph? Volunteer.
Can Govinda? Satvik?
Govinda, you already read it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So those who haven't read it, I want you about Bharadwaj. Who can read it?
Satvik, can Satvik read it?
Yeah, Satvik, go ahead.
And can I read Parashuram one?
Okay, Satvik, go ahead and finish this one first. Yeah.
Okay, Bharadwaj. He is one of the 7 great rishis and was present at the time of the birth ceremony of Arjuna. The powerful rishi sometimes undertook severe penances on the shore of the Ganges, and his ashrama is still celebrated at the Gadama
Prayagdam.
Prayagdam.
It's in Allahabad. Yeah.
Wait, what did he say?
It is in Allahabad in India.
Okay. It is learned that this rishi, while taking bath in the Ganges, happened to meet Gritashi, one of the beautiful society girls of heaven, and thus he discharged semen which was kept and preserved in an earthen pot, and from which Drona was born. So Dronacharya is the son of Bharadwaja Muni. Others say that Bharadwaja, the father of Drona, is a different person because Maharshi Bharadwaja, from Maharshi Bharadwaja, he has a great devotee of Brahma. Once he approached Dronacharya and requested him to stop the battle of Kurukshetra.
Very good. So who is the son of Bharadwaj? Satvik.
The son of Bharadwaj. I think the son of Bharat. I think it's the son of Bharadwaj. It said, is it? I think is it Gritachi?
No, that's the girl.
Oh, is it Dronacharya?
Yeah, Dronacharya. Very good. Okay. Okay. So can you say one sentence about from what you read, Satvik?
I read that that the Dronacharya is the son of Bharadwaj, and then some people think that Maharshi Bharat that he's a different person. That his name is Maharshi Bharadwaj.
Okay. And
Can Govinda read the next paragraph?
Govinda, you already read it, so I want to take someone who hasn't read it yet, and then if time permits, you can come again, okay? So next paragraph, who is those who haven't read it so far? Nihal, have you read it? Nihal, are you there?
No. Yes.
You want to read it?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Parashuram
Parshuram or Renukasuta. He is the son of Maharishi Jamadagni and Srimati Renuka. Thus, he is also known as Renukasuta. He is one of the powerful incarnations of God, and he killed the Kshatriya community as a whole 21 times. With the blood of the Kshatriyas, he pleased the souls of his forefathers. Later, he
underwent severe penances at the Mahindra Parvata. After taking the whole earth from the Kshatriyas, he gave it in charity to Kashyapa Muni. Parshuram instructed the Dhenurveda, or the science of fighting, to Dronacharya because he happened to be a Brahmana. He was present during the coronation of Maharaj Yudhishthira, and he celebrated the function along with other great rishis.
Very good. So, who is the father and mother of Parsuram? Nihal. Who is father and mother of Parsuram?
Maharshi Jamadagni and Srimati Renuka.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So, how many times he killed the Kshatriyas?
Prabhuji, who are you asking?
Nihal. Nihal, can you tell me?
I think 17.
Can man
How
can
many
Manhar
times?
Prabhuji, it was 21.
Manhar? Yeah, okay, Manhar. Can you answer? How many times Parsuram killed Kshatriyas?
21?
21 times. Okay, very good. Okay. Then Nihal is the one who read this paragraph, right? Nihal, are you there? Okay.
Prabhuji, I have a question. How many Kshatriya did Parshuram killed?
21 times. How many number is not there, but he did it 21 times. In one time, he may have so many Kshatriyas, okay?
I was thinking it was 17 Kshatriyas.
No, 21 times. Okay, now, Admya, you want to read it next paragraph? It is
Okay.
about Parsuram. Admya,
Parshuram, can you hear me?
yeah.
Parshuram is so old that he met both Rama and Krishna at different times. He fought with Rama, but accepted Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. He also praised Arjuna when he saw him with Krishna. When Bhishma refused to marry Amba, who wanted him to become her husband, Amba met Parshuram, and by her request only, he asked Bhishma Dev to accept her as his wife. Bhishma refused to obey his order, although he was one of the spiritual masters of Bhishma Deva. Parshuram fought with Bhishma Deva when Bhishma neglected his warning. Both of them fought very severely, and at last Parshuram was pleased with Bhishma and gave him the benediction of becoming the greatest fighter in the world.
Very good. So, can you tell me, Admya, that who is the disciple of Parsuram?
The disciple of Parshuram is like Bhishma Dev was his disciple.
Very
and
good.
and he because when Bhishma refused to marry Amba, he helped Bhishma Deva, and he accepted Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead.
Very good. So Bhishma Dev, actually what happened, Amba wanted to marry with Bhishma Dev. But you all know that Bhishma Dev has taken vow that he will not marry. Right? So Amba went to his spiritual master Parsuram to tell your disciple to marry me, But then Parshuram went to Bhishma Dev and told him that, okay, I'm saying you that you should marry Amba, But then Bhishma Dev says, no. Then Parshuram says that, okay, then you have to fight with me. So Parshuram and Bhishma Dev is a big fight all going on, Finally, so long that finally Parshuram told that, okay, that you don't have to marry Amba, like that. So there's a story there in Mahabharata. Okay, very. So these are very good characters here. Okay, next, who hasn't read it so far? I believe everybody's covered.
No, I haven't read it.
Who is that?
Ashrith.
What is your name?
Ashrith.
Asray.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You join later on?
Yeah, I joined a little bit later.
Okay. Okay, Asray. You can read about Vasistha Muni here.
Vasishtha, the great celebrated sage among the Brahmanas, well known as the Brahmarshi Vasishtha Deva. He is a prominent figure in both the Ramayana and Mahabharata periods. He celebrated the coronation ceremony of the personality of Godhead, Sri Rama. He was also present on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He could approach all the higher and lower planets, and his name is also connected with the history of Hiranyakashipu. There was a great tension between him and Vishvamitra, who wanted his Kamatenu, wish-fulfilling cow. Vasishtha Muni refused to spare his Kamadhenu, and for this Vishvamitra killed his 100 sons. As a perfect Brahmana, he tolerated all the taunts of Vishvamitra. Once he tried to commit suicide on account of Vishvamitra's torture, but all his attempts were unsuccessful. He jumped from a hill, but the stones on which he fell became a stack of cotton, and thus he was saved. He jumped into the ocean, but the waves washed him ashore. He jumped into the river, but the river also washed him ashore. Thus all his suicide attempts were unsuccessful. He is also one of the 7 rishis and husband of Arundhati, the famous star.
Very good. So, Asray, can you tell me little bit about Vasistha Muni from what you have read?
I mean, like, he's a sage.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like present on the battlefield of Kurukshetra,
Very
and
good.
I remember he celebrated the coronation ceremony of the personality of Godhead Sri Rama.
Mm-hmm.
He could approach the higher and lower planets, and his name is also connected with the history of Hiranyakashipu. And there was a tension between him and Vishvamitra, who wanted his Kamadhenu. And yeah, and then Vasishtha Muni refused to spare his Kamadhenu. And he tolerated all the taunts of Vishvamitra. And once he tried to commit suicide on account of Vishvamitra's torture, but his attempts were like not successful. And then he jumped from hill, but the stone on which he fell became a stack of cotton, and he was saved. And then he jumped on the ocean, the waves washed him ashore. He jumped on the river, but the river also washed him ashore. Thus, all his suicide attempts were unsuccessful. And he was one of the 7 rishis and husband of Arunati, the famous star.
Yeah, husband of Arundhati. Okay. He was also guru of someone. Do you know? Who he was guru of who? From Ramayana? Anybody know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Rama and Lakshmana.
Dasarath. Yeah. Who says Dasarath?
Rama.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's a guru of the Ram, Dasarath. Of course, Ram, because Ram is son of Dasarath, but he was like family guru of Dasarath and all of them there. Right. So anybody left that who hasn't read it yet?
Oh, I haven't read yet.
Who is that?
Pratyush.
Pratyush. Oh, you okay? Okay, Pratyush. So you read. This is only one sentence about, and and then you do the next paragraph.
Okay. Indra Pramada, another celebrated rishi, Trita, one of the 3 sons of Prajapati Gautama. He was the 3rd son, and his other 2 brothers were known as Ekat and Dvita. All the brothers were great sages and strict followers of the principles of religion. By dint of severe penances, they were promoted to Brahmaloka. the planet where Brahmaji lives. Once Trita Muni fell into a well. He was an organizing worker of many sacrifices. And as one of the great sages, he also came to show respect to Bhishmaji at his deathbed. He was one of the 7 sages in Varunluka, and he hailed from the western countries of the world. As such, most probably he belonged to European countries. At that time, the whole world was under one Vedic culture.
Very good. So, how many sons Prajapati Gautam has?
Had 3.
Okay, what are the names?
The 2 brothers were Ekat and Dvita.
Okay, and his name is Trita. So he has 3 sons, Ekat, Dvita, Trita, like that. Okay. Anything else that you want to say about Trita from the paragraph that you have read?
Trita fell into a well when he was an organizing worker of the many sacrifices, and he also came to show respect to Bhishmaji when he was dying.
Okay, very nice. Very good. Okay, next person, anybody who hasn't read so far?
I have a question.
Yeah, okay.
So how is Trita from the west, from the European countries? Because at that time there was no such thing as
Yeah, actually, during that time, the whole earthly planet was under one rule, you know. So all these, for example, you say these Dhritarashtra's wife, okay, Gandhari, came from Afghanistan. You know that?
No, I didn't know
So
that.
now Afghanistan is a different country, but before it was just one kingdom. Everything was controlled and governed by from Bharat, India, from Delhi. It is called, Indraprastha and Hastinapur. You know, so that is how all these people see. Later on, actually, the whole world was following this Vedic Dharma. It is called Sanatana Dharma. But later on, it is all sort of divided into certain areas. Okay. Anybody who hasn't read it so far? Okay, it's already 7 o'clock, so maybe we'll finish it up. We have some more to go, and yeah, we have some more sages descriptions are there. So maybe next Tuesday we'll finish it up, and then overall I'm going to ask you questions about all the rishis then. So I hope you will remember by then. But if not, you can always refer to Canto 1, Chapter 9, Text 6 and 7. All descriptions is given. So those who are interested, they can read ahead also. Okay? So we'll stop here for today and meet you next Tuesday. Same time, same link.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Well, thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, bye.
Bye.
Hare
Krishna, Prabhuji. Krishna.